people to Australia and New Zealand. It was a 12-day trip. Um, it was a great experience. We saw great scenery, saw all the sights and that's the tourist attractions. Um, we saw great cities. This is Sydney. Most of these pictures are from my own collection, taken on the trip. We saw great cities, Sydney, Cairns, uh, cities in New Zealand as well. We went to the jungle, which is Sydney again. Um, saw animals you never see around here, koalas, kangaroos, wallabies, all that good stuff. We interacted with the animals and had a good time. But my presentation is to get you to come to Australia. Above all, to travel, but Australia's the place to go. So we started out in Sydney. Great times. It's a big city, 4.7 million people. It's a wonderful city, lots to do. Very diverse too. It's like New York City. It's like Atlanta. People compare it to Atlanta as well. Very diverse, and so many things to do. I think there's a common stereotype in America that the people are just like overly friendly, and it's true. They're very happy people. It's a big city. It's safe though. They say compared to New York or like Detroit. Detroit's kind of a bad example, but like LA, Detroit, New York City, they're kind of dangerous. City is pretty safe. They've taken polls. People feel safe at night. They have a pretty good police force. And there's just so many things to do. We went to museums. We went to aquariums. There's three aquariums in the local area within 20 minutes. There's museums, art galleries. I think there's some pictures to follow. And parks. There's so many parks, and it's just full of people and full of life. So, like I said, it's safe. Most of the people feel safe at night. There's a giant police force, and they're out, and they're there to protect you. They're there to be seen. And people talk about, it's a dangerous place because it's a big city, but you get that anywhere. Here, it's safe. They've taken polls from the population, and most people think it's a pretty great place to live. And tourists say the same thing as well. So the attractions, on our trip we went to, I think, 3 different zoos. So all the animals, this one here, the kangaroo, we actually got to feed and hold the koalas and all that good stuff. It was a great experience. And we also, one of the best parts of the trip, I think, we got to go to the Opera House and see a concert live. It was, I don't know if anybody knows Tony Bennett. He's a singer. He's a great performer. We actually got to meet him after the show. It was just a wonderful experience. So like I said, there's aquariums and so much to do. And we also went to the Sydney Tower. Many cities in Australia and New Zealand have these giant towers similar to the Seattle Space Needle. So you go up, look out here, see the whole town, or the whole city. And it's just, they've got like history up top and stuff like that. And so down here we went to the museum, or this is the art gallery of it. Just a good atmosphere and lots of things to do. The city also attracts a lot of celebrities and musicians, so it's a great place to do like that. And then we went to Queensland, It's a tourist town. It's right on the Great Barrier Reef. So it's like the typical beach town. You get to surf, you get to go swimming with dolphins. We actually missed our opportunity to do that. It was a stormy day when we were there, but it's still a great place. The nightlife actually in Cairns is really good. It's a small town. It's only got about 100,000 people, but the nightlife is it's pretty prominent. Being a tourist town, there's bars and restaurants and lots of things to do. There's not as much as Sydney, but it's still We got to go out at night and experience the town. Many clubs, like I said, restaurants, and actually Cairns is one of the more affluent towns in Australia, so there's a lot of shopping, and I guess the girls were into that. I guess some guys could do that as well. But it's, like I said, a resort town, so you get the beaches, and we actually got to surf on one of the main beaches in the world, the most famous beach, Manly Beach. It's just off the coast. We had to take a ferry there, and the people were just fantastic. They helped us out. They were friendly and nice, and we actually met people on the ferry that were going to do the same thing. They were locals, and they joined in the fun. They were, joking with us and made a good time. So Cairns is in the north part of Australia. It's in the jungle. It's a small town, and so you're like in the jungle. And, this picture here is like 10 minutes from the main city. We got to ride a gondola all the way down from one of the tallest peaks to the main city. And along the way there are these catwalks, and you get to experience the jungle, just walk through. I don't think I have included a picture of it, but there was a spider. I kid you not, it was that big, just right out. You could have touched it. It was pretty shocking. And so the Great Barrier Reef, we didn't actually get to see it, but it's one of the most amazing things I've heard in the world. And Australia actually is the third largest, has the third largest ocean territory, and it's all protected. It's almost all national park land, so it's preserved, and it's great. And then sports. So I know we talked about shopping for the girls. There's also tons of sports. Whenever we turned on the TV, it was rugby here, Australian football, or cricket, and it's huge over there. So Australian football is like handball and soccer combined, actually football as well. It's a rough game. It's a fun game. We got to talk to the locals, and we actually, when we went to one of the parks, we got to play, pick up game, kind of run around. And so rugby is it's huge down there. The New Zealand team at the time were world champions when we went down there. They're the All Blacks, but Australia has a very good team as well. And also basketball. Surprisingly, basketball is pretty prominent down there. They compete in the Olympics and the World Basketball Federation, I think it is. And then also, major sport down there is motorsport. Motorcycles, race car. This picture here is from the Bathurst 1000. It's an annual race in Bathurst, Australia. It's just outside of Sydney. And what they do is they race around the track. It's a 1,000-kilometer track. It's a pretty long race, but it's huge down there. The fans go crazy. They get drunk and just have a huge party. So overall, Australia is just it's a big party town. Anywhere you go. Perth is on the other side of Australia. That's a great town as well. So that's Australia. I'd just like to advocate, if you can't get to Australia, travel in general. It's great. It diversifies your perspective on the world. It's helpful to meet friends, make connections. But if I could suggest a place, I'd say Australia is one of the best places to visit.
How long is the flight to get there?
It varies. Ours was 13 to 15 minutes, or hours, sorry. But depending on the winds or whatever, you get 18-hour flights. Actually, on the way back, it's longer because you're crossing the time zone. So we actually got to have 2 Fridays on the trip, and it was one of the kids' birthdays on the trip. So he got to have a birthday in the air and it's pretty fun. Yeah, it's a long ride, but I think it's worth it.
You had change. How did you do
We flew to LA, yeah, it's 13 hours.
Flew to LA and then it's 13 from LA. So it's, you know, but did you stay over in LA?
No, no,
So
right.
you
right
did the
from
whole,
LA.
the shot there.
Yeah, it was like
So
36 hours
you're
driving.
looking like a 24-hour day, you know, which is, that's not that unusual. Not many can do something like that. You had a statement on there, on your PowerPoint, that you didn't address. You said that Australians live longer. You don't have to go back.
Oh, yeah. So, on average, they're the fourth most, or the fourth longest living nation, I guess, maybe behind the U.S. and Japan, I believe. Yeah, it's
Never had an idea where we even stood with regard to that.
we're up there, but
I would have thought we would have been lower. Well, medically we're great, but stress-wise.
But they're healthy.
Yeah, and they're very laid, you know, laid back. You know, I have not been to Australia. I'd like to do it. I'd like 24 hours.
They say the sea air is good for the skin too, so it keeps it looking healthy.
How old were you when you went?
This was just 2 years ago, so I was a senior in high school.
Okay. Was there a drinking age there?
It's 18, yeah, we were all legal, so we experienced the nightlife. It was fun.
Thank you.